Once more, the urge to film an entire video at this angle is coming over me, and it's really strong. A special thank you to my patrons, Acrophobe Christina, Wild Rose, J.M. Beans, Jay Thomas, Lauren Chris, Michael B. Petty, That British Unicorn, Sky Andropolis, Debbie Elliott, D. Higgins, Juliet Q, and Kate O. Okay, I've tried readjusting the frame for this like 87 times, and you guys can still see the very borders of my thing. So that's just how it's gonna be. Today we are doing a AmberLynn read alert. I forgot. AmberLynn alert. That's what we're doing. Sorry if this is get ready with me style. I know I already posted one this week, but it is what it is. You know, I got to get ready. I have to film some more stuff today. I don't have a lot of time the rest of today, and unfortunately, like, Friday is going to absolutely be sucky for me. So, got to make the best of the time that I have. So, I hope this is okay. All right. We're going to start, as always, with my color corrector. So Amber's actually only had one video this week. She did post again to her Instagram asking people to like leave her a comment, whatever. She does this every once in a while, and almost every time she does it, I am struck with the overwhelming thought of why. I mean, it never really ends very well for her. Every time she posts it, people send her mean comments, trolly comments. I'm sure so many more than she even posts on there, right? Like, I say this all the time, but no one will tell me fat phobia isn't real. It's a real thing that really happens. Unrelated, kind of related, I suppose. It's really funny to me that a lot of the anti-haters, their rhetoric is that we are fatphobic and we are targeting these women, but like, you guys are all hypocrites because all the women talking about Chantel and Amber are also fat. Not seeing the hypocrisy at all in that they criticize us for calling Chantel and Amber fat and or calling them out on their behavior, but then when they are talking about us, when they're talking about the quote-unquote hater nation, you know, they also use very, very fat-phobic language, you know, being like, well, you're such an ugly lardo and like awful things like that, which, you know, whatever. I don't care. Once more, I've said before, you can call me whatever you want. I have a pretty thick skin, and also the opinions of strangers on the internet means very little to me. But I don't know. It just seems like a funny thing. No? Sorry if this seems a little bit shifted. I tried my best, but man, when you're working with softwares that are like not really meant for your use, sometimes wonky shit happens. Anyway, just thought I'd point that out. It was a little weird thing that stuck out to me. Stuck out to me. Okay. Now, to get into Amber's videos, the first thing that we should probably discuss is the type of video she posted. She posted a weigh-in video, and this is the first one that she's posted in quite a while. And, you know, you can tell generally just by looking at the thumbnail and stuff that it's not going to be good. So let's get into the specifics of this video, shall we?
This is a weight loss update. Before I even get into this video, I'm sorry if the ring light is distracting. And like literally see the circle in my glasses and it's driving me crazy. In future videos, I will try to figure that out because I'm sure it's really annoying, but I feel like certain videos aren't really about like, okay, look at me. It's more so like, listen to me. And that's what this video is.
All right, the couple of things, really, really quick nitpicks. First thing is first. The glitter's fine. I said before, you know, it is what it is. Sometimes you can't control shit. Happened with my own eyes, so I'm not going to judge her too strongly for that. Though I will ask, are those prescription glasses? Because she said for a while that she needed them. They look nice on her, so I like that. And if they are prescription glasses, go for it. But that if they're not prescription glasses and it's really bothering the audience, then maybe do consider removing them, right? Like, this is not a video that you can just listen to in the background, since this is a weigh-in and you have to look at the screen to see what her weight actually is. It's not like a video, for example, like this, like a get ready with me video, right? I'm not going to be putting up a lot of stuff on screen. It's just me basically talking at the camera. And so if you guys choose to just listen to it, like if it was a podcast, that would be fine. But if I have to read something on screen, it's a little harder.
So I have been putting off this video for a few reasons. I think the biggest one is the backlash. I honestly think it's really messed up that we live in a society where people judge you if you gain weight. I'll get it. Being this size is not healthy.
So there's this concept that she has that people really, really judge her for her weight gain, which she's not entirely wrong on. People do judge her for her weight gain, but it's more than just the weight gain, right? There is a follow-through that we are judging her on, or lack of follow-through, I should say. So she will say that she's going to do something. She chooses not to do it, or she can't follow through with it. And then she comes on here and she says, well, you know, I couldn't do it and now I've gained weight, right? And then people will get upset at her. And I'm sure some portion of that is going to be people who are like, you're a fat, gross thing, and I, you know, hate you because you are still fat. I'm sure there are, 100%. I know that there are, right? But there's also a good portion of people, your audience, people who've watched you for a while, who are going to say, hey, this is like the 140th time that you've gone on a diet. This is the 140th time that you're trying the same thing over and over again, stuff that has never worked for you in the past, and you're choosing not to do anything about the stuff that you do need to fix to not have these issues in the future. And instead, you're just going to try the same thing that didn't work before and see if it's going to work now. And they're going to get mad at you, right? They are mad at you for your lack of follow through. They're mad at you for the action plan that you set out for yourself. They're mad at you for expecting things to change magically in your life following the exact same pattern as before, right? It's like Einstein's definition of insanity, you know? It's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. That's what she's doing. She does this all of the time, where she goes on a diet that she doesn't really think through, that she hasn't really planned, that is not what her dietitian, therapist, and doctor have worked on together. And then she's surprised that she's failed. And so people have a right to then get mad at you and say, well, then why don't you do the things that the doctor, therapist, and dietitian are telling you to do? You have had no success otherwise. Okay, partner who is lovely has come and adjusted the backdrop a little bit so it's like less weirdly placed, and I could have maybe fixed it more if I'm willing to move the camera around, but it's taken so long to set this up. You guys don't even know. My software was giving me such a hard time. Anyway, let's move on. We're now going to apply concealer. If you guys are wondering, I always use the Dermablend foundation, but it doesn't have a pump, so I have it in this Born This Way foundation bottle. It's not that. It's the Dermablend. I have all that information linked down below. So in a weird way, I really can understand that, right? Like, so much of Amber and her channel is defined by her weight, right? And we'll get into that again later. She mentions it, something in a similar vein later. So we'll discuss it more then. But, you know, I just need to say, I can understand that from a intellectual point of view, I guess.
So the reason why I have not made a weigh-in video is because I'm afraid of the backlash. I want my channel to be more about me and not always my body. I'm ashamed, even though I shouldn't be ashamed. Ultimately, I should not be scared to come on my channel and talk about anything to do with my life, especially my eating disorder and my food addiction. I shouldn't have to live in fear that people are going to judge me. Everyone preaches about eating disorder awareness and mental health awareness until someone actually has mental health problems or an eating disorder, and then they like literally get attacked.
Look, you can, and quite frankly should, talk about anything that your little heart pleases on your channel, right? No one is stopping you from doing that. No one is saying that you shouldn't talk about it. No one is saying that it's wrong of you to talk about it. You know, none of that stuff. You can and should do it. Absolutely. 100%. Anything that you want to. It's your channel. It's your money. Do with it exactly how you please. But I don't understand this idea that just because you can do what you want, other people can't have an opinion on it on their channel. And you've left your comments open and you decide not to moderate because otherwise your channel takes a financial hit. And so you've decided to allow the criticism in your comments. you could just stop. You can stop uploading content. Now I get, it's not fair that you're being asked that, so that I don't get harassed and bullied and all of that stuff, that I have to stop making content. I mean, I could see your point in that, but it's not that you are being bullied and harassed. It's that you are choosing to put up aspects of your life on the internet for people to consume, and they're not consuming it the way that you want, right? And you don't like the reaction that people have to it, which of course I can understand that, right? It's pretty negative and I can understand you not liking it. But that doesn't mean that you can dictate it while also reaping the benefits of it. You can't say, I want to keep making money I'm making on YouTube and no one else can be upset by it. You can take one or the other. You can say, okay, people are allowed to say whatever they want about me, but from all of that outrage, I'm going to make money. Or you can say, no one's allowed to say anything about me, and I'll only put a very select piece of information on the internet, and whoever wants to watch can watch. But you can't have it both ways. You can't expect that other people are going to moderate their opinions. That's not how it works. I'm sorry. And I know it sucks because you get a lot more unfair criticism than somebody else would, but that doesn't mean that that is an aspect of YouTube that you can change. What does she mean by this, right? That if we don't support a woman with mental health illness who is choosing not to change anything about her life that is causing her mental illnesses to become worse, who is basically she is unmanaged as far as her mental health diagnoses go, and is suffering the negative consequences of it, but is choosing not to do anything about it, and is putting it up on the internet so that she can get money from the people who want to follow her journey. That if we don't support you in your endeavors, then we can't also advocate for mental health? Are you saying that because we choose not to support your journey, that we don't support the journeys of people who are trying to better themselves within the means that they have? That's why I don't say that, everyone should, anyone who isn't in therapy is all of a sudden a bad person or anything like that, right? It's more that you are trying to do the best that you can with what you have available. Hence the reason why I make some of my videos, most of my videos, I would hope. But Amber doesn't have any of those issues. Amber has so much means at her disposal, and she chooses not to do anything about it, and then she chooses to scapegoat her mental health for her own inaction. I can understand being afraid. I can understand it being difficult, but never choosing to better yourself and then saying, well, my mental health is hard on me and that's why I don't choose to do that. No, I don't agree with that. There is a ton of people out there who suffer from similar things to Amber. There's people out there who are doing significantly worse than Amber, but the difference between Amber and a lot of these people are that either they fully accept that what they're doing is wrong and they don't care, or they fully accept that they're trying their best right now and this is the best that they can do, right? Like, a lot of people don't have the ability to pay for therapy out of pocket. They don't have the ability to go to a bunch of different doctors. They don't have those kinds of means available to them. Amber is not in any one of those positions. She has the best of the best available to her by virtue of her wealth, and she has a lot of internet support. She has a lot at her disposal. And instead, she chooses inaction, she chooses money, she chooses to weaponize her health online for dollars, and she chooses not to better herself in any regard, even taking first steps, second steps. And then she's constantly surprised by her own failures and why people are upset at her. You can only say, well, my mental health makes it hard on me to get better without addressing your mental health and expecting people to understand. At some point, people are going to be like, well, why don't you address your mental health? Why don't you work on that aspect of yourself? And you've never given a good enough explanation as to why you don't do those things. Because you have all of the time in the world.
I sat down the other day and I was like, what about me is a train wreck? And I really wanted to absorb that information and really focus in on why people are like, I watch you because you're a train wreck. The biggest things that my channel is revolved around is my weight and my indecisiveness and the cycle and all that. And you guys have to realize that all of those things that make me a train wreck is mental illness.
So she is less of a train wreck than she was before. I will agree with that, you know. She's definitely gotten her life a little bit more together. She is now, you know, she's engaged. She's in a long-term serious relationship. She's got her own place that she's living at. And all of those things, at least so far, are going well for her. And I'm glad. I'm genuinely happy for her. I said before, too, that, you know, I was really happy when I found out that her and Becky are engaged and that they're, you know, moving in that direction. Great. Happy for them. Awesome. That's wonderful. But that doesn't mean that you're not still kind of a train wreck, right? The palette I'm using today is the Kaleidos Cosmetics palette in Futurism 5 Electro-Turquoise. This, oh my God, I love their formula. If you guys are looking for like more colorful, more like inventive color schemes, I really recommend their palettes. And these ones, especially like the 6-pan palettes, I only have this one, but I really like their color curation in a lot of them. So I'm thinking of getting more in the future. You're still a train wreck in some regards, though in not all regards anymore, because of your physical health, right? Because of the way that you are physically, because of your deteriorating health. There is a reason why, you know, Paris Hilton, Demi Lovato, both of these people have documentaries coming out. Even Britney Spears, right? These documentaries are interesting because they give you insight into people who have troubling mental health aspects to them. With Demi Lovato, it's addiction. I haven't seen the Paris Hilton one, so I don't know. With Britney Spears, too, it was her mental health and the harassment that she faced at the hands of the media and the breakdown that she had and how people in her personal life exploited her. So all of those things are there, and all of those things make it very interesting. Now, they're still wealthy. They're still people who have had serious relationships. And in Britney's case, she's had children. And so that doesn't disqualify them from being a train wreck. The train wreck aspect comes in a lot more, I think, emotionally than anywhere else, right? Like, she is a train wreck because a lot of her mental health is still not controlled. She chooses not to better herself. She chooses to continuously put herself in the position that she is in. And more importantly, she markets herself as that. We can't forget that. Britney Spears, even Paris Hilton, they're all stars in their own right. They have something else to offer. And this is the drama that is surrounding their personal life. Amber doesn't have any other content other than her personal life, other than her weight loss content. So when that is going poorly, the only aspect of her life that we really focus in on and we see, we're going to perceive her entire life as being a train wreck. Even with Demi Lovato and with Britney Spears, we could look at them and we could say, yeah, their personal life is in shambles. Yeah, they might not be doing that well personally, but professionally, they're still doing well. And that's not true for her. It's all one thing for her. There's no separation of church and state there. Is she truly as big of a train wreck as some people on the internet believe? I don't think so. And I think the reason that she isn't is because she curates an image of herself online that I don't think is necessarily true. You know, I've said before, I think Amber is a lot shrewder and a lot more calculated and a lot more like precise in how the world views her than Chantel is. Chantel is very reactionary and she gets upset and she pops off. Amber is not like that. Amber actively cultivates the view that people have of her. Does it make her happy? No, I don't think so. I don't think she gets any joy out of it, but she understands the power that that kind of view has and the power of outrage clicks and outrage views, right? And that's why she does it, I think.
I act the way I do because of mental illness. I'm indecisive because of mental illness. I am over 500 pounds because of an eating disorder. This entertainment that you're finding in my struggles is honestly disgusting.
Once more, you know, just in case I wasn't clear before, because I tend to ramble, right? You are mentally ill. I'm sure you are, right? You said it before in the past, and you know, nobody gets to being as heavy as you are without there being some sort of underlying problem. So I believe you. I'm not saying that you're lying. There's definitely something there. I don't know if it's the things that you say it is, you know, I can't be sure of that. You've been untruthful in the past, and it makes me doubt your sincerity when it comes to sharing this information with us, but that doesn't mean that I think that you're lying about having a mental illness as a whole, or that you're lying about all aspects of it. But there's a lot of people who suffer from mental illnesses, a lot of people who suffer from the same mental illnesses that you do, who don't behave like you, who don't act like you, who are actively trying to better themselves, who hold themselves accountable. And I think that's the biggest thing. Your refusal to take accountability for a lot of your actions, for a lot of your lot in life, is, I think, what's led you here, right? I can understand when you were a kid, there was not much that you could do to control your situation and your surrounding. But now that you're an adult with disposable income, all of this, the world is your oyster. You can and should be trying to make your life a better life than it is. You can and should be trying to improve your situation so that you can be happy. Choosing to wallow in your misery doesn't make you brave. It doesn't make you smart. It doesn't make you a good person. It just makes you miserable, right? If you can get help with the help of other people, then you should. Choosing to try and do everything on your own, reinvent the wheel like you do a lot of times is just silly, in my opinion. The same thing with recipes, right? Amber will talk about all the time how she doesn't, know how to cook. She doesn't enjoy cooking, and how food from outside just tastes better. Try cooking at home. Try following a recipe. You don't do that. You just throw things in a pan together and you're like, well, it tastes really good to me. Well, it could taste so much better if you would listen to people who know what they're doing. And I'm not saying listen to me, follow my recipes. There's a ton of people out there who know what they're talking about. Buy a few recipe books. Buy a few courses if you really don't know what you're doing, right? Follow some Zoom classes. That could be a fun thing you could do. But just saying, well, I don't know what I'm doing and therefore that's how it is. I guess it never gets better. Everybody learns all the information they have via osmosis. And if I don't know it, I can never know it. That's so self-defeating. You are the captain of your own boat. You have the power to change your life around you. Like, I don't mean to sound too much like a guidance counselor in a high school, but legitimately, you can change your life. Choosing not to doesn't make you a better person. Not accepting other people's help doesn't make you a stronger person. It makes you an idiot. So we're taking enjoyment in her suffering, and that makes us bad people. I have a very serious inquiry here. In a video in the past, she had said that, she's not making weight loss content anymore. She's just like trying to entertain people online. And the way that she entertains people is with her life. And part of her life is going to be some of the weight loss stuff. Part of her life is going to be vlogs and eating and whatever. So if you're creating content for our entertainment and we are entertained by an aspect of it, is that our fault? Or have you changed your mind? Have you changed your stance on what kind of content you're making? Because you're either making entertainment content, and we're being entertained by it, though maybe not in the way that you would have hoped, in which case that's not our fault, that's on you. Or this is not entertainment content, it's educational and you're serving as a cautionary tale, or maybe you're as an inspiration for weight loss, in which case we can hold you accountable when we think you're doing something wrong. So which is it? Are you an entertainer or are you not an entertainer? Because the perception there matters in that how we should treat you. But the outcome that you want is that we watch you, but we don't have anything negative to say, because even though you are quote unquote an entertainer when you want to be and an educational channel the rest of the time, all of the downsides, all of the negatives that come with those shouldn't apply because of the other. You don't get to choose only the good parts of life, right? You gotta grab the rose by the thorns, as it were.
The fact that I, as a human being with feelings, am afraid to come on here and talk about my weight to the people who are really here to learn my life story and to follow my life story. I'm afraid to share with you guys because there is a very big, large portion of you who are here to just attack. And you guys, I hate saying you guys because I don't mean as a whole, but there are a portion of you who almost gets like high off of me gaining weight. And you can't say that that's not true because I see the comments and I see the personal message that I get in private. Some people get off on me gaining weight.
Yeah, I would say she's right about that. I'm sure that there are people out there who are sending her really awful negative stuff, or, you know, who are getting really high on like her weight gain. And some of them, I'm sure, are feeders, and some of them, I'm sure, are just creeps who like watching somebody die online so they can feel better about themselves. I'm not even surprised by that. Absolutely, 100%. My question to you would be, why do you have your DMs open if those are the kinds of messages that you get? I'm sure you would get some positive messages, but don't rely on strangers on the internet for positive reinforcement. That's why you have a very loving fiance, from what you've said, you know, there for you. That's why you have friends that you have, you know, like Dana and Destiny, that you've claimed you rely on, you know, on Eric and Ricky and your mom and, you know, Becky's family. Maybe, I don't know what the situation there is, but maybe you can count on them. Count on happy messages and positive reinforcements from them. Don't count on the internet, because for every one person who says something nice to you, you know you're going to get like 5 people saying something negative to you. So why rely on them to begin with? Why count on them to begin with? Why not just learn from the 8 years or something like that you've been on the internet, that people are going to say mean things and be mean to you? Learn from that and just not rely on them and not listen to them. Just block that out altogether. Be consistent with it. You can't leave your DMs open and then be surprised that the action that's repeated a bajillion times in the past is repeating again. Does it suck? Yes. Should you expect people to be better? Also, yes. Should you put your mental and emotional health at stake hoping that they are better? Absolutely not. The color that I'm using right now is number 2 Space Age highlighter in Star Surfer. These are just so beautiful. God, I gotta buy more of these. All of them. I might buy all of them. They're very pretty. I don't know what's happening with this look. It's like all over the place, but I'm enjoying myself. So that's all that really matters at the end of the day.
And I can't even tell you how many people have said, I watch you because you're a train wreck. You can't say that and then also spread mental health awareness and eating disorder awareness and peace and love. Like, you can't do the two.
No, you are incorrect. I can watch you because you're a train wreck and still hope that you turn everything around and are no longer a train wreck. For all that people love tearing other people down, you know what's even better? A come from behind victory. People love that shit. They go wild for that shit. And even a lot of the detractors that you have here, if and when you are successful, they will jump on it and they'll be like, I was behind you 100%. Prove the haters wrong. Do you know how much of the stuff in my life I do out of spite? I do things to spite people all the time. Most of those people are also imaginary and in my head, but I do things to spite people all the time. I better myself because I'm like, I'm not going to let that anxiety voice in my head wait. I tell you who's boss. You don't tell me who's boss. And I am like that to a certain degree, right? And you can be too. Do it to spite people. Do it because you want to make the haters mad. Flex on them by losing the weight, becoming healthy, and being your best self. And people love that shit. People love an inspirational story. Have you not seen Fat Girl Fed Up or Obese to Beast or Jordan Shrinks? That's who they are. You can be that person, but you don't want to be because it requires a lot of work.
So as you guys can see, I have gained a good chunk of weight. I'm now only down 30 something pounds when originally I was down over 91 or something like that. So I've gained a pretty big chunk of weight. I feel it all over my body, in the way that I breathe, in the way that I do things. I feel absolutely disgustingly miserable. I can't even express how horrible I feel. I feel so horrible, and I'm going to get tons of backlash and tons of hate about my weight gain. And
See, this weight regain was literally my biggest concern with her losing weight to begin with. It was always a worry of mine that she would have some measure of success, become complacent, and then she would gain the weight back. As funny as it may sound, weight loss is not all that hard. Gaining weight is very easy. Losing weight that first time, that second time, that third time can also be, for a lot of people, fairly easy. It's just a matter of going on a pretty strict diet, losing the weight, right? It's keeping it off that's the hard part. It's understanding that you have to make small changes every single day and make those changes for the rest of your life to make sure you don't become fat again. And that's the thing that's hard for people. People just assume you lose the weight and then I can go back to eating quote unquote normal and then everything will be fine. That's the thing. Your normal is what got you here. Your normal wasn't actually normal. And you have to change that forever, right? You have to forever alter the way that you think of normal, the way that you function normally, right? And you have to set a new normal for yourself. That new normal has to include vegetables and fruits at every meal. That new normal has to include working out, getting a minimum number of steps every single day. That new normal has to include maybe not eating candy and chips and having those things in the house, right? Your new normal is going to be different, and that's what's going to maintain your new lower weight for the rest of your life. And that's what's hard. The permanent change is what's hard. People can give up temporarily a lot of stuff. Giving it up forever is what's hard. And that's the problem. Amber has lost, and I saw this floating around somewhere. I don't know where, I'm sorry. But I saw some people talking about how she might have had her weight loss jump started by essentially by her repetitive illness, right? Like she had, I think it was when she first started losing weight last year. God, it's been longer than that. Like at the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, that her weight loss had been kickstarted by repetitively being on antibiotics for urinary tract infections. And that would make sense to me. They helped kickstart it, and then, I haven't applied the eyeshadow in the center of my lids. And so then she was able to maintain that momentum for a little bit going forward, And then she made some lifestyle changes. But they obviously, once she moved into her own place, they didn't stick because those lifestyle changes they have to be permanent. You have to say to yourself, hey, I am doing this and it's going to be this way for the rest of my life. This is not temporary. This is not for now. This is forever. Forever, I have to cook a minimum of 3 things that I've meal prepped for the rest of the week. Forever, for the rest of my life, I have to get in these many steps. You can skip it once, you can skip it twice, but if you keep consistently skipping it and you keep consistently not following that schedule, it's not actually a change, right? And more importantly, if you can't maintain that way that you're eating, then that diet isn't going to work out for you in the long run. You're just going to put all that weight back on.
Whatever you guys have to say to me, I feel a million times more than you feel it. I literally hate myself right now. There's absolutely no way that you hate me or are disappointed in me or let down by me more than I am let down and hate myself.
This doesn't make me happy to hear, Amber. I really wish you didn't hate yourself. Nothing about that brings me any joy. You hating yourself is not my goal here. You bettering yourself is. And I don't think that the way that you're going about trying to get better is something that's sustainable or that's going to work out for you.
I can blame it on a million different things. Having a hysterectomy, emotionally eating due to the fact that I can't have a kid. That has been so heavily on my mind lately that the fact that I can't carry a child has really messed with my mental health. That's a whole other topic.
And yeah, her not being able to have kids, I'm sure, has had a detrimental impact on her mental health, right? Especially with the engagement, especially with that. I'm, by the way, putting the highlighter again on my eyes. I can understand that that would negatively impact your health. I can understand that that would make you sad. That's how people imagine their lives moving forward, right? Is that I'm going to find the right spouse, I'm going to get married, and then I'm going to have kids. And she said that she wanted to have kids. She wanted to be a mom, and having that opportunity denied to her, that can be hard. You know, I'm sorry. I that really, really sucks. But that doesn't mean that you can't be a mom, right? I know it might not be how you would imagine or what you would have wanted, but hey, maybe you can consider being, you know, a foster mom. And maybe you can help somebody like a future little Amber, you know? Maybe you can adopt. That's not out of the realm of possibilities. You know, think about it. And if you really want somebody who's genetically related to you and you can't have one of your own kids, this might sound weird, but maybe you can ask one of your siblings if they wouldn't mind being a donor. And this way the kid will be related to you, will have the same genes, right? You can have a surrogate. Look, all of those things are possible if you decide to get better, if you decide to live a long, healthy life. If you don't, then even those opportunities will be denied to you. And I know it's not what you wanted, but isn't it better to have something than to have nothing? Isn't it better to live a long life, to see what would make you happiest, and to try and find something that might comfort you rather than eating yourself to an early death? That's all I have to say on that, unfortunately. I wish I had more to say. I wish there was some way that I could convince you or anybody else that food isn't the friend that you think it is. It's leading you down a path that I really wish no one would go down.
I know this is going to sound stupid, but I didn't order takeout today. That's big for me because in the last over a year, I have had takeout every single day besides that week that I did Jenny Craig. I order takeout every single meal practically, but I didn't today. And that for me is big. It's a big accomplishment. And I hope tomorrow I can say the same thing. I have completely deleted Uber Eats off of my phone. That was, oh my God. I feel like this weight is like off of my shoulders because now I can't order food at the click of a freaking button. Like it takes 2 seconds. Now if I want to order food, I have to look for the app in the store. I have to download it. I have to put my information in again, like my card information. I have to put my address. I ain't trying to do all that. Like I don't have the app at the tip of my fingers anymore. And that honestly feels really great.
Good. That's a small step. And honestly, I'm very happy to hear that. I really wish that Chantel would do the same. Delete all of those apps from your phone. Delete all of the cash that you have in your phone so you can't easily add your credit card to anything. Put your credit card somewhere where it's difficult for you to access. Only use cash, you know, if you can, you know, try and force yourself to go out and go into the car and do all of that. Make it difficult to just have food come to you. Make it as hard for yourself as humanly possible. I know that it's not fun, but try. And once more, try cooking stuff at home. Try making like healthier versions of food that you like. Hell, you can even have the orange chicken. There's a ton of copycat recipes online making the orange chicken from the Cheesecake Factory, right? I have made a couple of them myself. And you know what I do? A lot of times I will cut the oil in half and I will use sweetener rather than sugar. And that will make the dish a little bit healthier. And then I will just eat like a smaller portion of it, right? You can do stuff like that. You can still have the food that you love and just try and find healthier ways of making it yourself. And do it at home. Make it for yourself at home so you burn the calories, at least some, that you are going to consume, right? And it might help you discover your joy in the kitchen. It might help you create meals that are even more suited to your taste than stuff you could buy from outside.
So every day I just need to take it day by day. So I will be counting calories. I need to focus on calories. That is something I have focused on all day today.
Calorie counting is a good start. But calorie counting has not worked for you in the past. And the reason for it is because just because it fits into your calories doesn't mean that you should be eating it. I think calorie counting is something you should do, but you should also try and incorporate a couple of other ideas into your eating plan. For example, try and have at least one vegetable with every single meal. Try and make sure that when you're eating, take smaller portions to start with. Eat less in the beginning and then take a little bit more and a little bit more if you're still hungry, right? Try and cut down the oil in a lot. Like, nothing wrong with oil, by the way. It's just it's very calorically dense. If you're trying to lose weight, maybe cutting back on the oils is a good idea. But there's nothing like wrong inherently with it. Maybe try adding less oil to your recipe. See how that turns out. That's all I'm saying.
I will be posting more videos regarding this topic, even though, people are so rude when it comes to like weight loss and like food and eating and stuff. But then like when I stop uploading those types of videos, it's like the biggest one that people want to see. And it's like just this like vicious cycle. And sometimes I just feel stuck. So I'm just going to post and film what feels right to me.
This idea that Amber is stuck in the content that she's making, she's not wrong. I agree with her. She is stuck. There is really not much else in her life that is worth talking about. Not in like a mean kind of way. I just mean that it's not inherently very interesting, riveting content, right? And it's same thing with me. That's why, like, even though I said I would be vlogging, I ended up not vlogging during Vlogmas because I don't have anything happening in my life. Normally I travel. Right now I can't even do that. And I'm a really boring person. I don't go out. I don't like, even without the pandemic, I don't like party a lot. Like, stuff I like is like game night with friends and shit like that. So like I'm a really boring person. It's who I am and I'm fine with it. That's kind of what brings me joy. So I think that while this video sucks and while it's not happy or fun to admit that you're regaining weight, if you can learn something from it, then it will still have been worth it. And I think what you should learn from this is that weight loss is hard and you need like a lot of help from like therapists. And you should get all of that help and then you should try and do the weight loss thing or do them both simultaneously, preferably. But without doing the mental health component of it, I don't think that you're ever really going to be successful. And unfortunately, if you transition your channel to something else, you will lose subscribers because, you know, the weight loss stuff is the interesting part of you, Amber. It's the part of you that people want to see. For better or for worse, it is what it is. Anyway. That will be it from me. I hope you guys liked this. Get ready with me. Sorry if it was a little bit of a shit show. I'm trying my best here, but like this tech is just, oh man, I'm not good with stuff. Anyway, I don't have anything else to say. Yeah, I think I'm done. Okay, cool. If you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you hated this video, you can give me a thumbs down. That's totally okay. I respect everybody's opinions here. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Hit the notification bell down below and hit all if you want to know when I upload any videos right away. If you like what no, that's too early. I've got all my social medias linked down below. I've got Instagram, where I've got my food stuff and my life stuff, and I'm starting to upload stuff there again. If you guys didn't see, I made homemade broth. That was fun. Not broth, stock. I made homemade stock. That was fun and easy. I also have Twitter, where I'm a little bit toxic and a little bit petty, but it's the easiest place to reach me, and I put all of like the channel update stuff there too. So considering following me on there. And I've got Patreon. Think of Patreon as the tip jar for the internet. If you like the job that I'm doing here, and if you'd like me to continue, hey, consider tossing a few coins in my direction. You don't have to. It's not necessary. But if you did, I'd appreciate it. All of the money that you give to me on Patreon or anywhere else really that's on this channel will go directly back into making this channel better. And maybe then I can get better software so stuff doesn't always seem like it's one step away from falling apart. Okay, that will be it from me. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I'm Jasmine, the sequel, and I am not relatable. Peace.